Hello there, I'm Danny, and this is a training video on emotional freedom technique. And this version is called Faster EFT. So this is part of the Beyond training program. And I know it's hypnotherapy, but this is a great little technique that you can add into sessions. And the best way for me to teach it is for me to demo it on you now. So what I'd like you to do, and it's going to take 1, maybe 2 minutes to do this. Okay. So just get yourself comfortable, and I want you to practice this with me. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is to just put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your lap, and then close your eyes. All right. If it's safe to do so. Okay. And I want you to just create your peaceful place in nature. I want you to allow your imagination to create somewhere very beautiful, very peaceful, very calm. There's no one there, just you today in your peaceful place. Maybe it's somewhere you've been or somewhere you've always dreamed of going to. Just allow yourself to really experience and sense of being in a peaceful place. And just do this as best you can. And once you can sense that feeling of peace and comfort, I want you to squeeze your wrist and say, peace, peace, peace. All right? Open your eyes and squeeze your wrist and say, peace, peace, peace. Okay, all right. So that's your peaceful place now. Now, what you're going to do, I want you to think back to something upsetting that happened in the last few weeks. An argument, a difficult situation, maybe when you got upset or angry, just whatever comes to mind. All right, so just take a moment and just bring something that was a little bit upsetting or a lot, it doesn't matter. Just bring something up that you can think of in the last month, or it can even be longer, that made you a bit upset or angry. Okay, now feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, close your eyes. And I want you to just take yourself back there now. Just get a sense of being there in that difficult situation. Maybe getting upset and angry. Hear what you heard, feel what you felt, sense what you sense. And I really want you to step into that picture, step into that body, your shoes, and really feel those feelings and bring them up as much as you can, maybe to a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8. And then notice where that is in your body, maybe your stomach, your chest. Get a sense of where you feel it. And then I want you to give it a number from 0 to 10, 10 being the highest possible, 0 being you can't feel it. And just whatever number comes to you, 5 or 6 or 7, that doesn't matter. Okay. Now, I want you to open your eyes and copy me and say out loud or silently, I release and let go. I release and let go, as you tap on these exact points where I'm tapping. And then tap in between your eyebrows and say, I release and let go. I release and let go. And take a few deep breaths as you're doing this. And then underneath your nose, I release and let go. I release and let go. And then on your chin, I release and let go. I release and let go. And then on your sternum, I normally use my fist so I can cover a bit more area. I release and let go. I release and let go. And then close your eyes, squeeze your wrist and say, peace, peace, peace. And I want you to imagine being on that beautiful, peaceful place. Really get a sense you're breathing in relaxation and breathing out any stress. And then I want you to just go back to that difficult situation that you had in your mind. And just notice now that it feels less. Notice now as you go there, those feelings are not as intense. Get a sense now that maybe that feeling has disappeared and faded away. And then open your eyes. Okay, all right. So I went through that a little bit quick because this is a training video and I don't want to make them too long on the training videos. There's a lot to learn. We will go through this in class. But basically, what you're going to do with a client is you're going to explain to them what it is and why they're doing it. Okay? It's really important to know why you're doing it and what it is. So I didn't do it with you. I kind of thought that halfway through. Is I will sometimes demonstrate the points before we start. So these are acupuncture points, okay? All right. So in between the eyebrows, under the nose. So they're in a line. They're easy, these ones. In between eyebrows, under the nose, on the chin. Okay. Sternum. You want to feel for the clavicle around here, and then just tap on those. What's it called? The SC joint about there. Yeah. But where the clavicle, where the bone is, where you can feel that little nodule there, you tap on there. Okay. And then you squeeze your hands. Around, these are around acupuncture points as well. So what's happening is, apparently, is when we spike the emotion, when you go back to that difficult thing, the emotion comes out onto your body, and then by tapping on acupuncture points, you're knocking that emotion away. Now, what exactly is going on? No one's 100% sure. I'm an acupuncture therapist, and many people don't believe in meridians and channels of energy, but they're there. But there are over 100 scientific studies showing that this is effective for anxiety, depression, PTSD, and stress. It was originally created by Gary Craig, emotional freedom technique, and then Robert G. Smith made this version called Faster EFT, which is very, very similar. Just there's a few slight changes, and he adds in the this hypnotic anchor, which is really, really powerful to it. And yeah, so the what and the why, we're tapping on acupuncture points. Why? Because it's great for any big emotion, any craving. And what I've learned is when I would just tell the clients about this, and maybe even send them a video, they never did it, or hardly ever did it. But when I got them to do it in the therapy room, then they started doing it. Then they'd go, oh, wow. And often people will go, wow, that feeling's gone. I did it on my son last week, and he said the feeling's gone. So, and clients often will notice a physical difference, and then they'll go, right, this does work. Now, this is just one of the things I'm going to give them. I'm also going to give them often a hypnotic anchor, like a deep breath that they can use, some audios, but also when they come for this hypnotherapy session, that on its own is going to do most of the work, almost all the work. So they don't have to do these, but they can really be helpful. And it can be really nice doing this during a session at the beginning, because you get to find out their peaceful place. You get to find out the last time they had a big emotion, and it helps prepare you as well. Getting used to doing hypnosis, working with the client, and it gets the client ready for going into hypnosis. So it really is a good little thing to add into a session. So what and why? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to anchor the peaceful place. All right. So they want to get that peaceful place. Okay. And it's good to show them, you're going to get them to go to a peaceful place, and then they're going to squeeze their wrist. And you don't have to tell them that before, but sometimes they get a bit confused. But most people, when you say squeeze your opposite wrist, know what to do with their eyes closed. And in that peaceful place, you can spend 30 seconds, you could spend 5 minutes. And I want to see the client looking like they're a bit more relaxed, a bit more peaceful. Okay. And you can really let their imagination make it as beautiful and as wonderful as possible. And then what I would normally do is I would get them to float into that image and associate, really step into that body, their body, feeling relaxed and feeling peaceful. Okay. When you associate into something, when you step into your body in your imagination, you can really soak up the feelings and the images a lot more. And that's something we do a lot in past life regression as well. So anchor the peaceful place. Okay. Then they're going to go to the negative experience. All right. Okay. All right. And you want them to, it hasn't got to be World War III, but you want them to find something. And it's often good to find something related to the issue, that why they're here, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be, I mean, anger's a good one. Last time they got, angry even. So, and then you want them to, again, and with the peaceful place and the negative experience, I tell them to put their feet on the floor, hands on their lap, and close their eyes. And someone asked, why do we do that? Well, they've kind of shown that some studies have shown that when we actually change, we want our body to be aligned, not one arm over here, not our legs crossed, not feet crossed over. When our bodies align, it helps us let go of things easier. Something to do with the left and the right hemispheres of the body. You know, when I've done some other training, and they often mention about having the feet on the floor, hands on the lap. So, and you do it in something called EMDR. They get you to put your feet on the floor, hands on your lap, eyes closed. It's also what's known as a yes set. So you're giving them some simple instructions to do. And then unconsciously, they're now following your instructions. So when you then say to them, this problem's now gone, their unconscious follows it. Oh, okay, we're following this person. All right, so feet on the floor, hands on your lap, close your eyes for anchor, peaceful place. And then do the same thing again with the negative experience, and then get them to really go into it, feel those feelings. And then you get a number from 0 to 10. All right, and then once you've got that, then you're going to say the next part. And just like magic, the next part is tapping, saying release and let go, followed by the anchor. So once they've got that negative experience and they say it's a 7, it's in my stomach, then I'll say to them, right, and now open your eyes and copy me. All right, and say out loud, I release and let go, I release and let go. And I'll be doing some deep breathing while I'm doing this. And then they often copy the deep breathing. Okay, and then go through all the points. Was there 5 points? So I release and let go, 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 release and let go, release and let go, peace, peace, peace. And then I say, now close your eyes, really go into that peaceful place. Now, as you're squeezing your wrist and feeling that peace, I want you to now look again at that negative experience and just notice now that feeling has gone down, drifted all the way down, okay, to a much lower number, possibly disappeared. All right, so I'm putting some what I call like post-hypnotic suggestions in there that maybe it's all like gone, and I want to be kind of quite positive in what I'm saying, quite kind of as if I expect it to have gone down, and that's a big part of sometimes helping someone in hypnosis. So so is it recording? Yeah, it is. Yeah. So retest. Okay, you retest whilst they're holding their wrist, and 95% of the time it's gone down from a 7 to a 2. And then you might say, so from today, whenever you've got a big emotion, a negative emotion, and you want to lower it, all you've got to do is this tapping technique and it will go lower. All right. And for many clients, they're like, whoa, that's gone. I can't believe that. And I've had many clients, message me saying, Danny, thank you. That's really, really helped me. I have many clients that never use it and don't need it because the hypnosis has done all the magic. All right. So simply, in the future, all the client will do, if they have a big emotion that they don't want, they just tap on these 5 points saying, I release and let go, I release and let go, I release and let go, I release and let go. And then peace, peace, peace. And imagine that peaceful place. And once they do that, squeezing their wrist, the emotion will disappear. All right. So if you get a chance, practice this on someone that you know. So when you come on the training course, you've got a rough idea already how this works. Anyway, look forward to seeing you on the Beyond Hypnotherapy training course.